You're listening to the Nature's Image Farm podcast. I'm your host, Greg Burns, and we're talking bees, homesteading, and the old-time ways. This episode is brought to you by EnduraHive wax-dipped equipment. No paint, no rot, no hassle. EnduraHive. Built to endure. Now, on to the show. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another Stream Team Beekeeping Chat. I'm Greg. I've got the beauty. I'm the beast. I've got the beauty Susan with me tonight, along with our fellow Stream Team co-host Bruce, Jenne, and Brian Koper. Fellas, great seeing you. Thanks for coming back for another Stream Team Beekeeping Chat. I know we keep seeing it. We keep saying it every single time we get together, but you realize we're going on 4 years now.
Sir,
that's crazy.
And it seems like no matter what we do, there's always something to talk about when it comes to bees and living life as a beekeeper. There's a certain hive life that you live when you're a beekeeper and you're a part of such a beautiful community. And so I want to thank everyone tonight joining us for another Stream Team Chat. Hey, if you've got questions tonight, leave them in all caps. That way we can make sure to get through all the comments. Sometimes these comments fly so quickly through, it's hard to kind of keep track and go back through all those. So if you've got some questions tonight for us, if you would, just leave them in all caps, and we'll try to keep an eye and keep them starred. But Bruce and Brian, I'm struggling a little bit today, so I figured I'd bring the beauty along with me to help keep me possibly in line, and hopefully she won't throw me under the bus too much tonight about all the things that I'm not getting done around the farm this time of year. But speaking of getting things done around the farm and around the apiary, let's go around the horn and kind of get caught up and see where you guys have been, what you've been up to. Brian, what's new for you around Castle Hives?
So I want to say something that I just figured out about StreamYard first before I get into all that.
Okay.
Everybody that is watching I saw on YouTube, there are 2 live streams. If you go on to Nature's Image Farm, you will see 2 lives. One of them has a black icon that looks like a vertical. If you go into that live stream, you are just going to have the vertical format. So that would be good, like if you're watching from a phone.
Yeah.
If you're on your computer, TV, or whatever, select the live stream that does not have that black vertical icon, and then you're going to see the whole screen.
that's weird.
And
Is
that's
it a new format thing or?
yeah, it's StreamYard has a new format. Today's the first, like literally right when I was logging in, I saw it. And then I went over and looked on YouTube and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I figured that out just in the last minute. So that's why there's 2 on there, and like
nobody can see our faces. Actually, Luke just texted and said, "Mom, I can't see your dad's face."
Yeah, I'm only seeing let's see.
So you
Okay.
should see 2 of them.
Okay.
Let's see. So, okay, that one.
And if you go to the one that does not have the black vertical icon at the end of the title,
Yep.
then you'll see the traditional layout like what we have always had.
Okay. That's good to know.
We need to figure that out in the future.
Well, on mine, it's showing that we've got 2 of them going at the same time.
Yep.
One of them has the phone icon,
Yeah.
which is vertical, and then the other one is just the standard one. So, technology always trying to make our life better, right? I mean, what would we do without technology? I can tell you,
You wouldn't be talking every week.
That's true. I'd just be out there talking to the trees and the deer and the gun dog and everything else.
Go.
Sometimes I'm not sure that wouldn't be the better way to go. But it's that time of year. It's you get to this late in the season, and if we're all honest with ourselves, if you get to that somewhat of a burnout stage and you're ready for
Thanksgiving turkeys and pumpkin pies.
Oh, pumpkin pies.
Christmas.
Okay, before we start talking about all the things that I'm sidetracked about,
I'm hungry. We just talked about Thanksgiving dinner at church, so
yeah, that does sound good. Brian, Brian's been a busy little fella there. Been doing the hunter gatherer thing.
I love
Brian,
it.
what's new in your neck of the woods?
Oh, proud papa.
Look
That's so
at
good.
that.
How many points?
It was a nice 8-point.
Oh,
Nice.
that's awesome.
Yeah. And that deer was probably, there you go, proud.
Look at that. That's cool.
Oh,
That deer field dressed out was just under 150.
wow.
Wow, no kidding.
That's awesome. That's great. Oh, so they're taking all that and like packing the meat up themselves, or are they taking it to a processor?
So I asked him what he wanted to do. Like we hung it at his one friend's house. Friend's parents have a larger barn, and they have the hook and literally everything all set up.
Yep.
You back the truck in, and they've got like this barrel thing where the head, where it'll drip. I mean, like they're all set up.
Nice.
So we took it over there, and I asked him, I said, do you want to learn the process, or what do you want to do? And he was limited on time.
Yeah.
And then that next day on Saturday, it was going to be 60. And I said, if you're limited on time, I would just take it somewhere. So that's what he ended up doing.
Nice.
They did a really good job with it. It was a family friend of his buddy. So, and the guy, I guess, used to work as a butcher for like 30 some years. That's what he did as a career. And he does a phenomenal job. So
Awesome.
Jared, he filled his freezer. He doesn't have like a separate freezer. He filled theirs.
Oh.
And he brought a box over here. So we have part of his deer in our freezer. So
Time to buy a freezer.
Yeah.
It's that time of year. That's awesome.
But that's the only thing that I've been doing outside is just, really I've been going out hunting. I mean, as far as the bees, I did see like a couple in flight the other day. We were upper 40s.
Yeah.
But there's been absolutely nothing. So, and like, I mean, right now my little thing over here says 34, but I don't even think we're 34. We are, let me see. I know we were going to get cooler than that. Yeah, we're 31 degrees right here right now. So
that's chilly. Yeah.
We're cold. I think I am planning, though, we're going to hit 51, I believe, on Sunday.
Wow.
So I'm going to scoot over, and I'll probably toss my fondant on then, just because with 51, they'll still have enough time that they could seal up that lid a little bit.
Yeah.
And I've got ratchet straps on them too, so that pretty much holds the lids down. But that's going to be all I'm going to do. I mean, I might sneak in an OAV though. I mean, if it's 51, I could sneak that
why
in.
not? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, right now is a good time. I mean, we're getting towards the ending of November, but I mean, we're wrapped up here. So I'm living through Bruce now for the next few months whenever he posts videos.
Living vicariously through
Bruce
Bruce's
is getting tired. He's getting tired of all of us living through. Oh,
yeah, look at this.
Get out of here.
Get
with
out of
that.
here with that, Bruce. 68 degrees. I feel so bad for you. He's like, I don't know. Do I bring
Yeah,
a hoodie?
But
Bruce,
is it bittersweet? Is it bittersweet to have those kind of temperatures? Like when you don't actually have a kind of a respite time from the bees? Do you feel like you get burned out a little quicker?
Yeah, for sure. It's nice. It's got its own set of challenges for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
we have freezing
rubbing our faces in it constantly, and the flip flops and
you
shorts.
You guys
January.
get a time to go and hunt and be able to have time to do those things where he might not have that time. So there's that.
Yeah, last week, early in the week, it was in the 20s at night. So it just is up and down all the time here. It's crazy.
Wow. That's got its own set of challenges.
the 20s at night, did they declare a state of emergency?
No, they didn't, but people bundled up for sure. No, it wasn't too bad.
Bruce, what's I know we've been talking back and forth throughout the week. So there's all kind of neat things going on down in your neck of the woods. But what's new for you this week with your bees? Anything?
Yeah, I'm not sure how neat some of the things are, but I went through and did mite checks on the Southern Yards, Applin Farms, and Slocum, and actually did not have the results I was hoping for with my mite checks. And so it's a lot, it seems like a lot of them are good, but I think at the Applin Bee Yard, I checked 7 colonies and 3 of them were well with over threshold. I think I had one that was 11, one that was 30, and one that was 22. And then the other 4 were fine. They were down, at 2, 3, the lower level. And so, called Greg, and we're going to try a treatment here and see what happens. But that's kind of what I've been doing, is just checking mites. Today, the bee inspector, local bee inspector, went to my Midland City bee yard and did mite washes, and they were all within threshold. They were all like 6 and below for total mites, which is 2% or less. And so I don't know. It's something about that. I don't know if it's the location. I don't know if it's the genetics. I don't know if it's a combination. I'm not sure what it is, but for some reason, the bees in the northern areas seem to not have as many mites on average as the ones down there. I will say that and I'm going to actually do some inspections and go through and check some of the northern yards out this week. But the fall flow, I'm sure the bees brooded up nicely down south more. Maybe there's more brood. I was trying to treat with OAV because those colonies are completely packed out. The bees look great. They're vibrant. They're healthy. They just look incredible. They've got brood. They've got honey. They've got pollen. And they've got all of them that I went in had a little patch of brood in there. They just look perfect right now for how they should look this time of year. But some of them just had too many mites, and so I don't know. What do you do? But Greg and I are going to see what we can do to kind of fix it. And I'm not quite as panicked as I was when I called Greg on Friday. Or I was kind of panicked about it because I was thinking, man, I've been treating these bees like crazy. What's up with all these mites? And then now that I think about it, it's not all of them. And the bees look good. And so if we're going to do a little knockdown treatment here and get them under control, we should be okay.
For us here, you think about, when you get into, August and September, you really want to start to get the mite picture understood, under control, but you've got your own set of challenges where there never really is that like fall end point where you get everything to that. And if you get it there, the bees just kind of coast and cruise through the winter and do their thing. Like you're constantly fighting the ebb and flows of brood rearing. And while there might be a little bit of a dip and there might be a somewhat of a slight pullback, they're always brooding, it seems. And that's what would you rather have, Brian? Would you rather have snow and ice, or would you rather be just waking up in the middle of the night thinking, you know what, right now there's a baby mite just exploding in growth in my hives right now,
More than one. Yeah, I was talking to Richard Prager. He came by. You guys remember Richard, and he bought some honey from me this evening, some buckets of honey before the stream team. And we were talking about the mites a little bit, and he told me, I'd never heard this before, but he told me that here in this area, they say that the time that brood is at its lowest is between about mid-November and mid-December.
Oh, wow.
And then it starts growing again. So, about that winter solstice, about that time, they start growing again. And so right now is really a good time to go ahead and try to clean them up a little bit more. But like you said, Greg, I would like to just be able to say, they're clean. I don't have to worry about it, but I found out that they're not. And I've been fighting these darn mites all year. I've been trying to be good. And I wonder, when I think about it, I wonder if I have more mite problems now than I used to, or if I just didn't test. And so I didn't know I had mites in the past. I wonder if it's maybe a combination of the two. But I've been using treatments, differently than I did in the past. And I haven't had as much success on overall average mite control as I've had in the past. And it could be in combination of a lot of things. So, but we'll figure it out. The bees look healthy, and as long as they're looking healthy and they're growing and they're brooding up, if I can just they've had mites all year. They haven't ever been down to zeros in a lot of these colonies, and they've continued to plow right through pretty good. They've looked healthy and good all year, and so I am concerned about it, but just hopefully they won't be infested with a bunch of viruses that'll kill the bees. I haven't seen that I can think of deformed wing virus in a while. I haven't seen any bees that really look sick in a while, and so really the last time I had a major outbreak of bees that I thought looked sick was back when I had 2 years ago when I had the issues up in Ozark. And it basically wiped out that bee, or the bees just did not look good there. They got infested with beetles in the wintertime, and it was just a nightmare in that one bee yard. But beyond that, my bees typically look pretty well throughout the year. So we'll see how they do, and we'll see if my treatment plan here works. I'm going to try something that I've never done before this time of year, and we'll see how it works out. I'm a little nervous about it. We're going to try it.
I think mites always make us nervous, but I know, Bruce, you and I had the conversation. It seems like I'm having this conversation more and more. And since I've got the warden here, I've got my accountability partner. It'll probably keep me tamed mostly tonight, but at some point I get so sick and tired of hearing about mite counts, and I get so sick and tired of hearing about mite resistance, and I get so sick and tired of hearing about treatment free, and I get so sick and tired of hearing about treating. I get so sick and tired of being sick and tired about hearing about all of it, when it seems like there is this
but my treatment free bees don't need treated.
Well, there's a part of this that I think we keep glazing over.
She's poking the bear.
No, she's literally, stop it. Stop poking. Keep your hands up here. She's poking. She's just digging in. Right, I got a sore spot right here in the ribs where she's just been at it. At what point do we say, treatment free is not the answer, VSH is not the answer, mite resistance is not the answer? The fact of the matter is they've been working on SMR and all these things for so long. How much progress has there really even been made for it? At what point do we start to look towards, rather than mite resistance, we look towards viral resistance with the honeybees? We've only really started to begin to understand the immune system with the honeybee. And I think we have all seen these anomalies where we have seen colonies with astronomical mite counts, where it absolutely scares the socks right off you, and you're thinking, oh, this hive is doomed. Right. And then yet they actually pull through and they do great. And they're some of the most productive hives that you've ever seen. And you have some colonies where you're looking at judging on a wash or even an assay, and you're looking at it and there are no mites to hardly even report on. And yet something's wrong with the colony, or you can see that there is some kind of viral transmission being expressed with the colony. So at some point, there's all the constant back and forth, treat, not to treat, all these different things. But the fact of the matter is, until the bees are able to develop any kind of viral resistance or immunity to all these different things, I think we're whizzing up a rope long term with this thing. Pardon my phraseology there.
You better keep it clean, buddy.
Yeah, sorry about that. But there are no easy answers. There are no shortcuts to finding success in these things, and all these little pieces of the puzzle, they're important and they do add up. But I guess I'm getting a little, I'm not sure what the right word is. I don't want to say impatient.
I feel like you're getting a little grumpy.
Frustrated.
I think frustrated is frustrated is at least how I'm feeling, because it feels like no matter what you do, if there is an answer to this, if there is a known answer to this, and believe me, you listen to enough of the talking heads and moving mouthpieces on social media and everywhere else, they have it all figured out. But it seems like the closer you get to whatever the answer is, the goalpost is constantly moving. And we never actually get to the point to where we're in the end zone. I would love if we're all in the end zone with mites and mite controls, and we're all doing the Trump dance in the end zone because we've got everything figured out. But I don't know if we get there, when we get there. We spent so much time dealing with this. I think what's on a lot of our minds is just when you think you're starting to get to this, there's the next thing coming. And I know we talked about it before. And oh, by the way, we've been so focused, you know, don't even get me started on other things that we've been focused on in our social health system. But you put the blinders on and you're only focused on this one thing, and off here in the peripheral, the things that no one's even looking at anymore, could care less about, or think, or we've been the problems already been solved, are still there and still active and still manifesting. But there are folks who are still having issues with tracheal mites, but no one even talking about tracheal mites because we're so focused on varroa and how to kick mites out of all these different things. And it seems as though we should have made a lot more progress by now by keeping these bees healthy. And I still go back to that incredible interview with Chris Warner that we had at one of the conferences a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He said this is like the wheat and the tare. The situation that we are finding ourselves as beekeepers with our bees is really like the parable of the wheat and the tare. That what we are seeing with the health and the demise of our honeybees is in direct correlation to the dysfunction that we see here on Earth as the human race. I guess this is not as easy as you turn this switch on and the light comes on and there it is. This is so complicated. It's so nuanced based. I guess I'm frustrated, Bruce, and I'm a little upset. I guess I'm angry, and I'm just tired of feeling like we're not getting anywhere with getting to the bottom of this to keep our bees as healthy as they can possibly be, even when we do all the things, even when we don't do all the things. I guess I got my rant over this one.
So how are your bees in your bee yard this week, Greg?
Ugh. Let me show you this. You guys want to see something cool? Let me see if this thing kicked over. Let's see. How do I get to
You notice how, like, so take the three of us here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Greg is frustrated and, annoyed with the mites and all that stuff. And Bruce, he hits those moments where he's burnt out. Me, I'm just sitting up here smiling because I've only got 16 colonies.
And you're like out hunting and, enjoying life with your son.
Oh, yeah. I've been having a ball.
You know what? I'm going to calm down.
Calm down.
I'm going to calm down. I'm going to calm down. And I'm going to have a drink to do it.
Simmer down, Clark.
Not the kind of drink you would think, however. But yes, honey. Caffeinated, yes, honey. That's what I need is more caffeine and green tea.
Well, I would just say, Greg, to your point, excuse me, for some reason my throat is scratchy tonight, but I would just say to your point that it is easy to get frustrated, but I think all the people that are working on all the things, that's kind of how things eventually hopefully can get better. I don't think there is one silver bullet or one fix to all of it.
There never will be.
But I think the fact that people are focused on it and trying to figure out a solution, I think it all has put us in a better position, hopefully, or it will in the future. I know you're working on some things. I know there's a lot of people taking different approaches, and maybe either one of these approaches or a combination of the approaches will actually eventually help. But I do think that you have a point, like when, maybe the bees eventually will just become more resistant to the actual viruses themselves and be able to fight them with their own immune systems. And I still think that it's a good idea to keep the mite counts low and to address you think about mosquitoes and malaria. A lot of people died from malaria back in the day, and one of the solutions to that was to eliminate the mosquitoes that carry the malaria. So
yeah,
and then the other side of it, they developed, I think, some different vaccines and different things to help bolster the human immune system to be able to fight the malaria as well. And so the combination of those two things, finding the proper treatment for the people who are sick and eliminating the source, eventually in many parts of the world it's eliminated. Other parts are still battling it. And so that's kind of where we're at with this thing, I think, with the mites. Some people and mostly focused on killing the source, the vector, which would be the mite itself, as in the mosquito with people. And there are people that are working on developing treatments for the bees to make the bees healthier. And we've heard about vaccines and things like that as well that are out there for the bees, and just overall understanding the immune system of the bees. Like you mentioned, we're beginning to understand that I don't know much about it, but there are people studying every single angle to this thing, and new products being developed and new things being tried, and some of them work well, some of them don't. But if we just sat back and didn't try to do anything, that's not an approach either. Even the treatment-free beekeepers that are doing it the right way have a plan and a system for doing it. They don't just, the ones that are successful at it don't just let their bees die and just go survival of the fittest. You're going to have a hard time staying in business. They actually try to develop the stronger breed from the stronger bees, the ones that seem to be the most resistant, breed from the better bees over time, and eventually their bees get better and better. Look at what Randy Oliver's done. He's done that. He's not opposed to treating his bees, I don't think, but he's noticed over time he's bred from the best queens that he has, and they've gotten to where he has his problem with mites is not huge. Like they want to find hives with mites, and they have a hard time doing that, I think. And so if you're able to, those people like that, I don't have the time or the skills or the ability to do that in my operation just because of my restraints, and I'm not scientifically based. I'm not, I want people to kind of do the science and then kind of share with me what they learn. That's what I prefer to do. I'm not that type of a type A personality where I get into all the different control groups and doing all that, but there are people who are, and those people can take it a long ways. And so I just think the multifaceted approach, and the other thing is that we need to be willing to share with each other what we're doing, what we found, and then not think that our way is the only way. That's the thing I see a lot with beekeepers. It seems like people get real defensive of their position. And this is probably, as much as you get frustrated in people talking about mites, I get frustrated about people saying this is the only way to do it. That's what bothers me. When someone has developed a treatment-free system that works for them in their operation, and because they've had success with it for 3 or 4 years or less, they feel like that's the only way to go. And people who treat, or people who treat their bees a certain way, whether it be with treatments or whatever, because they don't do it the way that these people do it, then they're doing it wrong. And so I think the best thing to do is to look at every approach and just share and study and try different things and figure out what works best for you. And we say this over and over on the stream team, just, that's kind of what you have to do, and be less critical of those who are doing it a different way, and be more positive and supportive of those who are out there just trying to get it done and do the right thing.
I mean, there are for sure folks out there who want nothing more than to have their bees be healthy and be prosperous and be profitable. And I guess what gets me fired up the most is when you have the folks who really have no skin in the game other than losing social capital, and they're posturing and pontificating, and they're making these bold statements on these blanket statements on the health and condition of the beekeeping industry by and at large, when they really don't even have any skin in the game, where they're not depending on beekeeping as an income, when they're not keeping enough colonies to see any kind of consistency or congruency through any period of time. But they want to tell the rest of the world what they're doing wrong or how to do it better, when they absolutely have zero idea on what it takes in the real world to make any of these things move forward and actually happen. They're also the same kind of folks who won't acknowledge the fact that if we're actually honest with ourselves here, by and large, the beekeeping industry is literally built on the back of the commercial beekeeping industry. If it were not for commercial beekeeping, a lot of these beekeepers would not have the opportunity to even play games with bees. They wouldn't, because the products, the equipment, the logistics, all these things wouldn't exist for someone to be able to do what they want to do. It doesn't mean you have to do things like a commercial beekeeper, but there's this weird wall of division between commercial beekeeping, migratory beekeepers, or God forbid, folks who are profiting from farming bees are the bane, are the problem. That's what I get tired of. And what was really interesting, I think I'm going to go ahead and put this conversation out there. We've been so busy. Like right now, we're probably sitting on 3 years of really incredible conversations and content. But there was a very specific conversation, and what was really pulled the curtains back when it comes to treatment free is if you just look like in the last, I don't know, 10 years or so, at least of us here in that are in our age group, or if you've gotten into beekeeping in the last 10 years, what you may have just started to recognize is that 10 years ago, treatment free hit it was probably at the peak. And a lot of folks got in on that wave, myself included. And that's how we actually started with beekeeping. Bruce too, and Brian. A lot of us got on, and we got on this treatment free wave at the 10-year ago wave. And since then, a lot of it crashed and burned. Not to say there wasn't folks still continuing to do it, that it didn't work in their context and with their nuance and all of those things. But here we are again at another cycle where it's catching steam again, and it will do the same thing. It'll constantly go in this ebb and flow, and that's okay. But in this conversation, we had Michael Bush on one side of this treatment-free conversation, and by now, if you're a beekeeper, you've probably ran across or have heard of Michael Bush. And I'll be the first one to say, a lot of what I did as a beginning beekeeper, I was basing it on those 3-volume books from Michael Bush. And everything sounded good. Everything, it seemed like it made sense. But when it came to the actual practical beekeeping part of it, every year I fell short and I blame myself. Every year I fell short and I blame this. Every year it fell short and it fell short and it fell short. And I kept thinking, what in the world's going on here? It didn't work for me no matter what I did. It didn't work like I thought it should. So in one part of the conversation, we had Michael Bush, who is responsible for, I think, getting so many folks interested in treatment-free beekeeping. And I think that that's fantastic. But what I never understood was the context and scale and whether or not Michael Bush had any skin in the game when it came to beekeeping. I never clearly understood. I never understood the context behind the books that I was reading to say, this guy's raising this many colonies, or he's doing it at this scale. Does that make sense that was never understood. And if it was implied in the text, I'm too dumb to understand that. And that could be. So on one part of the conversation, we had Michael Bush, and on the other side of this pendulum was Ian Stepler. And by now, you all know who Ian Stepler is and are very familiar with his bee farming operation and what it takes to do that at that level. It was in that conversation that I had a much better understanding and appreciation for both sides, but there was one thing that was revealed to me that I did not fully understand, and that was context. If I would have fully understood the context, I think, and the scale, I think that maybe would have painted a little bit different of a picture on whether or not I thought that was something achievable for me, knowing that I wanted to keep going forward and have a bee business. So the context and the scale is so extremely important and very often misunderstood, sometimes misrepresented. And I'm not accusing either of doing that, but it's very important information as you go to make a decision on how you want to go and do something, is to understand some of those basic tenets and fundamentals of why this person does this, what that scale is, and how much skin in the game is there. Is this a part-time job for somebody? Is this something that you're passionate about and you want to help educate and inspire other folks? Great. Is this something that you actually do for a living, or make a significant amount of your income? Because not that the dollars don't matter, but you have a certain amount of skin in the game, and those bees have to survive. They've got to live. So whether or not your bias is true and factual, or if it's just self-inflicted, that does matter. Now, what I think is a really great opportunity and one of the fastest growing bee conferences in the country, the biggest in the Midwest, is coming up in February. The Stream Team, we will be there. We're going to host the Stream Team Beekeeping Chat live from the Midwest HoneyBee Expo this February 6th and 7th. As much as folks would say Greg is anti-treatment free, that would be a misrepresentation. I am anti-treatment free for me and my operation because of how much skin in the game that I've had in the past, how many thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and resources that I have put in countless hours and years and trying to make it work. That has put me in a position of why I hold a firm opinion, but yet still open with it. At this conference, however, we're going to have a lot of treatment-free beekeepers there. And some of which are going to be on stage giving talks. And I think it's a really great thing because folks can better understand some of the nuance to this, better understand that because when you understand the nuance and you can read between the lines and you can get a grip on how or why someone is successful doing it, I think you can say, this makes sense for me to try or not. I'm actually going to put a panel discussion together where we're going to dive even deeper into treatment-free with some folks there. It's going to be a really great conversation and a very unique opportunity to we're going to get past it all. There's hopefully as little bias as possible, if that's even possible. But
I feel like you'll be able to do it. I think you're very fair. And I think you always give people a fair shake. I think you'll ask really great questions. And I think that's half of the battle is you're willing to ask the question.
Well, the whole thing is not to be, I mean, if everything that we did was based on being right,
but you're not looking to be right when you're
you would be
asking a
wrong
question.
all the time.
Well,
because
I mean, you
how
are
many times,
most of the time in our.
How many times have I said, you know, every good idea we've ever had was because of you, or that was a major mistake, or I made a bad call on that. Like I've done that over and over and over again. But the fun thing about talking with folks is you let them tell and share their story and their journey. And that helps us all learn a lot better. So hats off to Doug and Bill and the whole team at the Midwest HoneyBee Expo, Madison, Wisconsin. Is February 6th and 7th. There's going to be a lot of great speakers there, including.
Hey, what's that guy's name? Brian
and Brian Koper will be there.
The other guy, Bruce.
I hear
they're cool.
I hear Bruce is going to be signing autographs.
I heard that too.
It's going to be a big deal. It's going to be a big thing.
The line will be short.
The line will
be short.
It will be long. You're going to be signing. It's going to be wild.
It's going to be big.
Bodacious Bruce and his signing booth. That's going to be great. I'm going to slow down here, guys, because the more I want to get into this, the more fired up that I get. But I wanted to show you something cool.
Yes.
That I seen today. All right. Now I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to play this video. I hope it'll play. I'm going to play this video, and while it's playing, all right, no holds barred. I want you guys to just spitball live on what you think you're seeing. Same thing in the comments. I'm going to put a video up, and you guys explain to me what it is that you're seeing. But this was today. Okay, let's see if I can pull this thing up here.
Let's see. Old man. Oh, did I say that out loud? Oh my goodness.
You're older than I am.
Pardon me.
Man, yeah, about window. There we go. Okay. All right. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
That doesn't look real good, does it?
Mm.
Well,
all right. Should we let people guess, or should I say what I think?
No, not yet. Hold on. Play the video.
Actually, wait. It's paused. This is a video. All right, Bruce. What do you think we're looking at here?
I think those are the boys being pushed out.
Okay. Brian, what do you think?
Those aren't all drones, though. I had similar at mine. I don't really, when I see something like that, like I literally went, the last time I was in my apiary a week ago, I went over after the snow. We had that pretty nasty snowstorm, and I went over just to check entrances, and I saw a couple that probably had maybe around that many on there. I didn't give it any second thought. Bees die every day, so I
thought they were doing some house cleaning.
Yeah, that's all I did. I just thought, yeah, they're cleaning it up some. It was still very cold when I went over.
Yeah.
I helped them out, swept it all off, and thought, there you go, girls. I'll see you again.
Yeah, I mean, it's like here's where
There's a couple boys in there, though.
here's where I felt so incredibly dumber than normal. I mean, here's a box of rocks, dumb, right? And then there's the ground underneath of it, and that's me in this moment, because I'm gonna hit play. It's a video, because all of a sudden I see something, and I realized, oh my goodness. And I went back to a very specific year, and I'll tell the story here. You guys ready for this?
Do it.
It's a miracle. This is first thing in the morning. This is about 7:30 in the morning. Okay, what are you guys seeing?
Dying bees.
Looks like
Frozen
dying
bees.
bees, right? Look at
Frozen,
that.
maybe frozen bees, cold bees. To me, it
Okay.
must look, most of it's like males to me, but maybe it's not.
What's interesting is there's some of them with their proboscis out even.
Is it poisoning?
But check it out. Just watch this. I was gonna post and do like a voiceover.
Look, that one's saying, "Wake up, dummy! Wake up!"
Yeah.
So, a couple things. It's just now warm enough for the bee and the fly. Look,
They're starting.
you guys noticing anything?
They're moving more.
Yeah.
It's cold. They're cold.
Yeah.
Look at this one. Check this out. Look how powerful. Somehow they are locked in.
Get out of here, Joker.
It's like,
Yes.
wait,
Sally's
Now look,
clinging
look,
on for
look.
dear life.
the one that's hanging on is just starting to come back to life. And it's thinking, what's going on here? Oh, it gone.
Gown.
Oh,
I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, at first, I actually went to go swipe them with my hand. It was cold. We had frost. It was frost on the ground this morning. I went to go swipe them with my hand, and I started seeing, that started to move. The sun started to come out and started to hit everybody. Now just watch them react. Just watch them react. I know this is like a sad thing. Some people might be thinking, "Oh my gosh, how could you let these bees just?" But just like there's
Why
a certain
didn't you
part
get
of
the
nature.
heater out? The blow dryer.
Should I build them a fire? Should I build them a fire?
Yeah. Right underneath the hive. Duh.
Now I'm watching. Now wait. Now here we go. Ooh.
Oh.
What do we have here?
Yellow jacket.
Yeah, look at this joker. It's
Mhm.
like y'all
Nobody's here
you're not even
gardening.
guarding the entrance. But watch, there are some very cool things, interactions I want you guys to see in here.
Look at how much longer that
Look,
antenna is.
Now what is she doing? Look at her. She's like, hey.
Hey, what do you got there?
yeah.
She got any? This is a little pickpocket. Is what she is.
Do you think she's a little pickpocket?
I think so. She's
Clean
looking
her
to see
antennae. She's cleaning her
Or-
antennae.
nectar or anything. Look how much longer hers are.
Aren't they beautiful?
I've never seen one up close like that. That's almost a little creepy though. Look, she's cleaning her arms.
Now look, she's checking that one out. She wasn't trying to kill, and she was actually going up checking those bees out.
She's Vinegar and the Four Thieves.
What?
Whatever. You've never heard the story?
When I went over and saw mine, though, when my landing boards were like that,
Uh-huh.
it was 4:30, almost 5 o'clock, and they were ones that they had no life.
Mm.
That is pretty cool, though.
A couple things I noticed watching this video back is I never actually screwed the Apame bottom board down to the box. That's a first major dummy move. But let's see.
Gap down there.
Now what is really cool is first thing that I thought it was some major robbing. I thought, okay, what happens if I roll her over? Like some of these wings were actually frosted to the landing
The
board.
board.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You'll see one of them here.
Did they get caught out at night?
Well, why would bees be caught out so late at night as the temperature is dropping? Well, did you look around and see any of the other carnage that was on this landing board? What might be hard to see and what I saw on the ground is there was a battle that happened last night. And I think going late into the night, past when those bees could actually hold on and fight, the yellow jackets are going in and out and robbing. There's bee parts. There's decapitated bees. There's like, look here, there's an abdomen, just a part of an abdomen hanging
yeah,
out.
this is a war.
This is a battle zone from last night that the troops are just waking up. They were out battling until they literally could battle no more, and their bodies shut down, and they stayed there last night. It got to 43 degrees or so.
Yeah.
42. And here these bees are literally, many of them laying in frost pockets in the 40s. And as the sun is coming up, they're starting to warm up, but they can't even move. Their wings are like clung and stuck to the landing boards.
You little frost pocket, you.
You little frost. I've never paid attention. Here's this. It goes on for a couple more minutes, but here's where I had this moment to where I thought, "Oh, you idiot! How many years in a row did you go out there and check on your bees on those days where it was just barely warm enough in the wintertime? And you had all these bees that weren't moving that you thought were dead.
Shake them out on the ground.
And I shook them. I got all my frames clean and I shook out. I'm talking one year with like 60 or 70 colonies. And I just shook all the bees. I was so upset. I just shook it. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
That's why you should never have a knee-jerk reaction.
Look at this interaction.
Look at how fuzzy they are still, though.
Look up.
Like,
look at that.
Barbara,
boom. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, sis.
Barbara.
Look at her hair. Hair's all soaking wet. That one flies off there. But I kept thinking, how many times have you tried to clean dead outs too early?
Yeah.
And you shake all the bees onto the ground. And I have come back later that day when it warmed up to like 60 to finish getting stuff. And I'm thinking, wow, we must have a lot of chickens over here because I don't see any of the bees on the ground anymore. And it didn't even register.
I heard that one right there say, Barbara, get up. You're not a Karen. Go work.
Your hair doesn't look that bad.
Now, there was a couple of these. I came back and took a video a little bit later. Look at her. I think I helped that one. I couldn't stand to see some of them.
Just
those ones aren't coming back. Those ones look DED dead for sure.
DED? You mean DEAD?
There you go.
Dead.
No, they're just dead.
Oh.
They're dead.
Oh.
But
it's a saying. Okay. I get it.
The wings were like tattered on that one.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah.
So to me, this looks like a battle scene. You know, they were literally until the sun went down guarding the hive. They got cold and their bodies stopped.
This is where you hope the yellow jackets die before the bees.
Now watch. Is it this one? One of them.
That one. Oh, I saw the antenna move.
Look, it's a little twitchy twitch.
Yeah. This is suspenseful.
Now wait, there's one that you've got to see here. One of them, there's actually a proboscis frozen in the distended position that you'll see her use her front legs to manipulate, almost like it's trying to shed the frost off it.
Aww.
I've never seen anything like that.
Huh.
Oh, look at her. Like, oh, that's
kind of looks like me when I'm trying to get up in the morning. Bones
Me
are all stiff.
Goodness.
right. Got that frozen shoulder, frozen hip going on, and
Yeah. I haven't taken my Motrin yet. Yeah.
that darn yellow jacket's back again.
Now watch, you'll see a couple more. I actually saw what it looked like, a couple yellow jackets that just woke up inside the hive and came out.
Oh wow, really? They're having a little sleepover.
Look at this here. I mean, I love these little interactions. Like, what is going on here? Grooming, getting everything mobilized again. But you notice the interaction between the yellow jacket and the bees there, like they weren't.
It's not like they were on defense. They probably were too cold to be.
Is it like that, that Christmas, that World War II Christmas story where they take a break? I mean, like what sets off it's time for war and it's not time for war in this scenario?
Could be body temperature. You just know you can't fight either way.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen anything like this?
No.
Look.
Oh,
there
this
it
is the one.
Look.
Oh wow.
Oh.
That's insane. A little shaky on the camera, man.
Yeah,
There,
camera guys.
Got to work on
He's
that.
really, really rookie league, but
Oh. Where'd it go?
I don't know. I was checking out I thought the yellow jacket might be.
Oh no, she's still on the edge. She's on the edge. Wow, that hive is dripping. Did you see the lid? It has drips on it.
Everything. Well, there's frost over everything.
Oh, we got rain yesterday though.
We got rain, then it got cold.
We got rain,
Anyways,
and then it got chilly.
I wanted to show you guys that.
Wow, suspense.
Yeah.
It's going to be a season, all right. This weather.
So how many times have you prematurely? Now, Bruce Bruce could still have this problem, but when Bruce thought it was cold, he gives it, he goes, had lunch, comes back, and it's warm enough to know if the bees are goners or not, it's like 60 all of a sudden. But Brian,
yeah,
have you ever thought, after looking at that video, man, maybe I should wait until it's like a definite warm day to call it on
November, buddy.
Up here, like the other day when I went over, it was towards the evening. It was only going to get colder. If there were a couple that were alive and I scraped them onto the ground, they look dead. DED, dead.
DED.
So,
that's super dead.
It's a new one for me.
Yeah.
Right, guys.
So, by the next day, because it was freezing, by the next day, I don't think the next day when I went over there, we got real warm because we were below freezing. We've gotten down to 20. What did we get down to up here? 22 or something like that already. So, we're, if I see stuff out like that on landing boards, I just scrape them off. I'm like, your time here is done. So, I guess I could wait and just let the girls do it because it wasn't like there was a pile of dead bees or what I thought was dead, that it was like blocking an entrance.
Yeah.
Could just leave it and just see. But, if I would go back, odds are if we got to a day where it's in the 40s, they would clean stuff up. So whether they were dead or whether they came back alive, I wouldn't know.
Do you have a tendency to always clean off the hives though throughout the winter?
Just the front, I will. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I kind of shifted from not using the upper entrance, I always make sure that my entrances stay clear. But it's mainly if we get a lot of snow, I'll go over there and just give a little bit. But it's funny though, because when you do, and I'm sure you guys have seen this also, Bruce probably has no clue. But when you get that deep snow, it's funny because you will see entrances in that where it'll be thawed out.
Yes. And it's like the warm spot, you can tell where the heat comes out
hole or whatever it is.
Yep. Yeah.
They'll thaw out. So am I wasting my time putting the boots on to walk down there and do that?
I think sometimes we just miss doing something.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, both of you. After this is a. Now, luckily, Susan's here because how far my random thoughts can go, they're going to largely stop here somewhere, probably. After looking at that video, if I would have said, what measure of certainty are you that these bees are dead? Like, judging by the comments, that's like 90+%. Or saying that they were dead. And then even hitting play, based on the context of what you've seen, which was morning bees laying on their back, legs writhing, some with proboscis out, the last thing that I think a lot of folks were thinking is that, they just they went to bed in the frost pocket and they're waking up and warming up. That was probably, I'm not saying everybody, some of you are geniuses and some of you know it all. But most of us were looking at that and thinking, this is not good. So
They came back too late, got locked out of the house at night.
How many
Sleep on the front
times?
porch.
So we were so quick to make a judgment there. We were all pretty quick to make a judgment on what we thought we were seeing with those bees. But in reality, the truth and the context of that situation was probably the farthest and the last thing that the majority of us were actually thinking.
You misrepresented it with the picture first. So there's that.
How many other times in every other thing that we do with beekeeping are we just flat out dead wrong? Because we are only seeing what we think we understand within that frame and that snapshot of what we think we see and understand. How many other times are we just flat out DED wrong? Makes you wonder.
You got me really confused there. Because you said DED wrong. Now, how do you spell wrong? I'm all confused.
Dead wrong, Brian. The only thing
okay.
worse than DEAD dead is when you're DED dead.
Wrong.
Dead wrong.
Guys.
Okay. Huh.
I don't know.
Anyways, that's where my brain thinks weirdly, for sure.
It sure does.
I keep thinking, boy, if I could be that wrong that quick and we'd be fairly certain that I thought I knew what was going on there, but yet was completely
Wrong.
ignorant to the truth of the situation, how many other things are we? I don't know.
I can honestly say, have I probably done that? Yes, because typically, like, my apiary where my hives are, like, they're not here at my place. So when I go over there, I have a certain time frame that I look. So if it's cold, if it is earlier in the day and it's cold, well, I do what I'm going to do. If it's clearing entrances, I just clear them off. But now, I'm not flinging them 10, 20 feet. I brush them off. They fall onto the ground. That's it. So, I guess if I have cleaned off entrances and there were bees that would come back to life, they could just crawl up my hive stand legs and crawl back in.
Unless you're the knucklehead who, like, if I think back on how many 50-pound like chicken feed sacks of bees that I would have dumped onto the ground and then busted all the equipment down and stacked it up and then came back and saw no bees or a lot less bees. And I'm thinking, well, I think there's probably like 3 guinea hens, 4 ducks, and 12 chickens running around here. I don't think it's possible to squeeze that much material down. Where did then, like, just things that you don't think about. But anyways, it just makes me, I guess, it makes me this morning specifically, and just sharing this little thought exercise specifically, I think helps to reinforce the idea that, what is the truth of any of these things? What is the reality of any of these things? And how careful should we probably be on vesting fully into a conviction or a thought or an idea or a practice with something and until we have a little bit better understanding of what it is. And I think that's probably the challenge with tracheal mites and hive beetles and varroa mites and trophy mites and all the other things that are seemingly always the thing. Cold and sudden death was what seemed like it was the problem here with these bees. And the fact of the matter is, if I would have had a camera, late last night, we would have probably seen a battle royale on the landing board and those bees literally giving it all for the colony.
Oh, go out and check. Go out and check them.
What, those ones?
Yeah.
Check them.
Yeah. Go take a video.
Check them for what?
What you think they're still battling tonight?
I don't know.
This was a joke.
I was thinking, why
didn't get it.
I could go out and check them. Let me go check them.
No, it's too late now. 9 o'clock.
I would go out right now when it's 30-some degrees.
They turn into pumpkins after.
Shout out to Mr. Ian Stepler. Ian, we were just talking about you behind your back. Now that you're here, we got nothing to say.
It was all good.
Yeah, it was Ian. It was about the conversation we had. Just about a year ago, really, with you and Michael Bush specifically, where we kind of dug in. And got, behind the seams of some of these ideas and versus practical reality of beekeeping. One more quick thing to say, we have some questions, is I had a thought. I get these weird, sometimes they kind of pop, and then I'll take an idea and it'll just run and run and run and run and run. But I was thinking, you know, how much of what we do on the farm, with our business, with our life, with everything, how much of it really is sort of like working up a hog, or even a deer, like in your case, Brian. Bruce, I know you grew up on a farm. You were a part of butchering a lot of, I'm sure, protein for the family. But at first, we say, you know, what I really want is to cut my own bacon. I want to raise my own pork, or I want to, you know, cut my own meat. So let me go butcher a deer. And at first, all you're thinking of is you have the deer and then a meat cleaver. But you aren't just taking a meat cleaver to a carcass to expose the highest value portion or asset of that carcass, right? You are literally going through by hand and seaming. You're seaming the primals, and you're seaming the quadrants, and you're seaming the tenders, and all the actual aspects of the meat groups, the muscle groups of the animal. When you're doing it well, you're doing so much of that by hand to separate all of those things. And when you take the time and the pain and the aggravation to sort and to hand seam all those groups, now you're laying everything out on the butcher block. That is when you take the butcher knife or the cleaver or the saw to all those things to create that beautiful tomahawk chop, where you have just the beautiful top part, maybe even skin on if you did it right, and you scald and scrape the hog, and you've got the skin on, the fat cap underneath. You've got the actual top loin itself that wraps around the rib where that beautiful belly and bacon is, all the way to the bottom. You have this full, beautiful tomahawk chop. Like, you want that, and that's where you want to go. But you can't do that by throwing a cleaver at a dead animal. You have to get in there and do all of the work and break that thing down all the way to the primal, most simplest format before you can fully, truly realize and appreciate and actually manifest that, turn that into that highest value product. And I think so much of what we do on the farm or with our bees or with our life is we're in such a hurry to get there that we are constantly taking a cleaver, you know, to a carcass and trying to chop away and chip away and trying to make something, turn something into something it will never be unless we do the work, until we get in there and experience it in its fullest. That's a much bigger thought that I had about things, but it's so incredibly easy. We say it a lot, that there are no shortcuts to being successful. You might find a tip or a trick or a shortcut to finding a success, but it's not until you stack all those successes and you are full of success before that thing that you're doing is actually successful. And that's hard. Anyways, I wasn't supposed to keep going down these rant trails, but it's that time of year. And hopefully I'll get some time to just sit out and watch the tops of the pines sway back and forth and listen to those squirrels that sound like bulldogs creeping in from behind you, and you're waiting and thinking you've got a nice backstrap dinner on hoof coming in. Hopefully get to spend some time out in the woods. I'd like to do a lot of thinking.
Annie wants to go hunting.
That's the fun part. With 7 kids, you always have a hunting partner. There is always time to go do that.
Give a mouse a cookie.
I'll be back out Friday. I'll be back out Saturday.
There's nothing better. Speaking of work, if you've ever cut back straps out of a deer, you are not taking a meat cleaver and separating those beautiful back straps out. No. You might take a fillet or a bony knife and just start to carve on the inside where the top spine is and come underneath where the ribs are.
I think what you're trying to say is it takes a lot of care and technique and understanding of everything. And I think you can relate that to beekeeping a lot. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I feel like that's what I was hearing.
Way to make a long story short.
Thank you.
And I forgot what I was going to say
That's okay.
because I'm still all I'm
you can
thinking
just
about is
move
the
on.
backstrap
I know.
and cutting it. I don't know, about 1 3/4 inches, 2 inches, and coming through and just filleting the top part and leaving just about, and then whoop, flipping that rascal over.
Right.
Cast iron pan, a little butter and garlic.
Okay.
Anyways, okay. The butterfly fillet, Nate Burns. There you go. Nate knows what's up there. All right. We got some questions. We're going to get to those right after this. All right, guys, we have some great questions tonight, so let's get right to it. First question here, Mr. Dustin Weedy? Dustin W. asks, how often do you check Hive Alive fondant double deeps from Wisconsin? Brian, what do you think? How often do you check your Hive Alive fondant?
It's every couple weeks. I've never seen them rip through it faster than a couple weeks. So I'll typically go through 2 of the fondant patties a season per colony. So strong colony. So, I mean, you could put it on now, Dustin, and you're good for a couple weeks. So, or if you're curious, just crack the little lid and take a little peek.
Take a little peek. Yeah, we're about the same here. We try to get the first one on around Thanksgiving-ish. And then most colonies go through about 2 or 3 of those. And it seems like the ones that utilize that, they leave just enough honey left in the super that when the maples start to bloom, there's still honey left in the super. And it seems as though they get busy, I would imagine, rehydrating that and using that to maybe propel some of that early growth because they have everything kind of intact. But I really like the Hive Alive fondant for that. There's a lot of different feeding options and opportunities out there. We definitely have our preference on what we use, but I guess in a world of knockoffs and let's make something else cheap, all fondant is not created equal. If you're going to go through the aggravation of putting fondant on, you'd consider using something that actually has some that little extra benefit. And the fondant that actually has the extra benefit is the Hive Alive fondant. With the thymol, the seaweed nutrients, it actually has things going for it to help the bees with their gut biome and moving forward. It's not just a straight little fondant patty that's being ripped off by somebody else's work and progress there. So I'm a big fan of the Hive Alive fondant. And so great question there.
I don't feel like the fondant is aggravation. I feel like when we used to, way back in the day, used to try to use those sugar cake things, whatever that is. Those were
that was aggravating.
And then the mountain camp method was just a mess. And it was, if they don't use it, then what do you do with it? And are you going to try to rehydrate it with water and get all the chunks out of it? And what motor are you going to burn up this year to do that with? I did not like that method whatsoever. It worked as a desiccant, but it didn't.
That's all that it did.
It didn't. Then it was a mess, and it drew ants to the colonies that we used it on because you're never going to get it out in one piece. I didn't like that method. I don't miss it one bit.
Well, the thing I think that folks, when they make a sugar boat or a sugar brick, or they make their own hard candy, you pat yourself on the back because you feel like, oh, I've got some food for my bees. And at some point, they probably utilize some of that. But it wasn't until that I saw them doing nothing but drag it out and saw mounds and mounds and piles of it under the hive out in front of the entrance where I started to realize what is going on. you start looking in the hive, and when you're finding all the busted up sugar that they can possibly drag out all over the frames, all over the bottom board, everywhere else, I'm thinking they're not utilizing this at all. All they're doing is dragging it out like trash. Why in the
cleaning
world
it
am I
up.
going through all this aggravation
An expense now.
for a mediocre desiccant? And I thought this doesn't make any sense. At the time, I had heard about the Hive Alive fondant, and I thought, to be honest, I thought Hive Alive was a snake oil. I'm thinking, why in the world do I need one more thing to spend money on for my colonies? But I thought, I'd heard I am not an early adopter of anything because there is too many colonies at risk. Like, I'm not going to just go full bore, go gung ho, and whether it's 100 colonies or 400 colonies. I mean, even if it was 50 colonies, like, I'm not switching everything over to a certain thing in a certain way. And so we did a trial, and we put the Hive Alive fondant on some colonies and we didn't on the others. And it was a massive difference. The biggest thing that I actually had seen, and this is where all of the knockoff fondants can't hold a candle to the Hive Alive, and they never will. No matter how they try to market their fabulous new product, it's not going to work. What makes the Hive Alive fondant so great is the thymol and the things that are actually in it. And the reason that I'm such a big fan of it is our bees, for years, using dry sugar, whether it was dry sugar, mountain camp, whether we were making a sugar board or we were making hard candy like you would see in a candy boat, a sugar boat, what we would always see is our bees would always have the squirts. You would see it in the sugar, you would see it on the hive, you would see it on the landing board, right? Now, I'm not saying that they necessarily had nosema, but it was dysentery for sure. I've never seen that again using the Hive Alive, and I think it's because of the thymol that's actually in there. It's for gut health. So when it comes to fondant, there's only one that I think is the one to invest in, and that's the Hive Alive fondant. I think it's specifically because of that thymol helps in a big way. But I sometimes forget about all of the mess
What it was
because you and the girls were always really good about
one doing that.
cleaning up that stuff and going behind. And so Brian, thank you for your $20 super chat. Appreciate everyone. Brian, we appreciate you. 4 years.
So it's all craziness.
I can't even, in 4 years, I wish there was an easier way to like throw up a highlight reel over 4 years and watch.
Oh, we should do that. All the bloopers and
the bloopers. Watch how our microphones and our cameras and our cadence and our flow with each other, how that's all changed and to where it's progressed to this. It'd be fun to kind of see that. But so Brian, thanks for that super chat. Jester 40 member for 2 months. Jester 40, thanks for that. We have some more members only videos that I hope to put up in the next couple weeks. We have some honey harvesting here out of the learning yard, which was tremendous.
that was fun.
You know, those that say packaged bees can't produce honey, they are out of their mind. These packaged bees in the first year were phenomenal, and we could have gone even further and taken more, but they did an incredible job. So
yeah,
there'll be some more videos, so look out for that. Jester 40, you'll see those as a member. So thank you for all your support. Mr. Scott Boring, one of our favorite farm friends here. Scott and his 2 pups, we see them a lot, and it's always great when Scott drops by. And I think we've known Scott. I can go back into the moment that I actually very first met him, and it was back when we were slinging packages. We used to deliver packages on a route from several stops in Georgia through all the states, coming all the way up to Ohio, circling around Pennsylvania, West Virginia. It was wild.
that was wild.
And one of the stops there, I remember Scott. It was him and his wife Melinda, and he were picking up his bees, and he said, "Hi, my name's Scott Boring." Like I can't remember how I said it, like boring, like boring. Like, and I'm thinking, what? And I'm looking, sure enough, that was his name. So, anyways, my first recollection of meeting you is you telling me how boring you were because your last name was Boring, but it's one of those things where he is the furthest from boring. Anyways, Scott says, Greg, you convinced me to treat bees with OA about 6 years ago. That is when I started having success after 4 years of failure. One conversation changed my beekeeping and saved millions of bees. Wow. Cool. Great
I have
comment.
heard him tell that story actually to some of the learning yard people when they're like, oh, haven't treated yet, or that. And he's like, well, now listen here. And so Scott's a good one to like, listen, this is what I used to do. And then I met Greg and I started like admitting
but
that
Scott does
I
it
was killing bees every day, or every year I was buying new bees.
What I love about Scott, and it's the same mentality of you are the sum of those you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
And this community of folks here at Nature's Image, surrounding the learning yard, is everyone's always learning something, and they're always trading tips and tricks and hacks and all these different things.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, half of me feels like I'm doing a disservice to some of the ways that folks learn. But staying true to what feels like it's in my heart is I'm not the guy to tell you, just do this or your bees are going to die. Or if you don't do this right now and buy this thing, your bees are going to die. They're not going to make it. Like, that's not me. What I would rather say is, hey, here's what my approach was at first, and here's where I was at mentally with that. And then here was the result. And because of the result, I did some things different. And it wasn't until I did boom, boom, boom that I started seeing that kind of success. So that's exactly how Scott just laid out here in the comment. And so that is the kind of help that I think is necessary and is important. Not to, and Scott isn't this kind of person, but the one that is always the first to give the most absolutist opinion and thought and idea to answer somebody's question, especially on the fake book, when they have zero context, zero understanding of nuance, or zero understanding of where the other person is coming from. It's a major problem. But here we are, as I guess we're old. Bruce is a couple years older, but I think from what I understand, guys, Facebook timers. So it's pretty much like, apparently, if you're here on Facebook watching this, then you probably order your dinner or your lunch off the senior menu. That's what I've been told. Here in Ohio, there's a thing, you have the Golden Buckeye card where you get your 75 cents off your cup of coffee. Like, apparently Facebook is where all the old people go. I don't know where the new people go, because apparently I'm old too.
You're old, and yeah, we wouldn't know because we are on Facebook. So there's that. Whatever.
Anyways, I'm not old. You're old. You're older than I am by a lot.
And by not a lot.
DC's bees, I always love. He has a lot of great comments. A great journey that he shares with his bees, especially putting God first. So I always appreciate what he's got to say there. So he writes here, so how many of these do you think flew off to die? We know that bees will leave the hive for the colony benefit in some case. That's a great question. I don't know. I tell you, there's one thing that I am for certain that I know when it comes to beekeeping. It is that I know nothing. And the second you think you know something and you get a little bit too far into that I know what I'm doing mode, like we said a million times, bees have been one of the greatest humblers that we've ever known. So when you stay in the mode, and kids
and goats
and entrepreneurship and I mean, what else? I mean, life is humbling.
Yes.
If life isn't humbling, then I think you're probably a liar. But anyways, don't get me going on that one. So a great question here. How many flew off to die? I mean, some of them could have been leaving the hive last night. It'd be interesting. I'm going to go back there, but now before we peel off, I'm going to go out and take a look and see what that landing board looks like now.
I think you should just clean the box.
What?
It's not attached to the bottom anyway. You might as well just clean it. They're probably all dead.
Take it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Clean it up.
I am doing for all of our members only on our YouTube channel. It's like $5 a month. You've got to follow all season long on the progress in the learning yard, every single hive, every box, everything, every frame. You've seen it all. And I know that that's helped you with your beekeeping. I've got at least one more learning yard video that I'm going to shoot and then post to the members only part of the YouTube channel, and it is right sizing the bee yard for wintertime. As you saw in that video, there was still one of the colonies that had all of its empty wet supers that we pulled off during the honey harvest. Those were still on there for the bees to clean up. Two of them had a bucket feeder on top that we were backfilling with some Pro Suite afterwards. Those have to come off. Little friendly reminder, now is the time to pull your bucket feeders off, guys. So if you were using bucket feeders when you're getting down when it's this cold at night,
where we are,
you want to consider taking the bucket feeders off. Now you'll see videos until I get around to getting all the buckets off. You'll see them in maybe January or February. You might see buckets still on the colonies. Those are ones that are already empty. The bees have propolized the bucket down, and I'm just haven't made it important enough to me to go pull off.
Yeah.
But I would not. We're not feeding liquid feed at all. Not when it's getting. It's dipping down sometimes 20s and going up to the 50. That's a recipe for vacuum loss, which means just feed squirting out. But anyways, that was a great question there, Bruce.
Very good.
Thank you for your $20 super chat, Bruce. Hashtag Stream Team. Hashtag Be the Lighthouse. Bruce was at his local bee club meeting recently. I don't know if you have that. Did you take a look? How could we play that?
I could send it to Brian and maybe he could get it. I don't know how to put it on here.
Yes.
Let me see if I can find it. It's about a 2 or 3 minute video, but we don't have to watch the whole thing. But yeah, it was fun. Let me see if I can find it for you.
Going through and getting a couple more.
Yeah, I was at a local bee club meeting, and let's see, what were their names? I'm having a little brain moment here, but and they listened to the stream team. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. My mind is just leaving
That's
me
okay.
here.
That's what old people do. The ones that are on.
And that's exactly what I am. So let me see what I can find.
Look at this from Via HoneyBee that says, Greg, we are getting older. That must be Melissa talking about getting old. Because guys like me and Tom, we're timeless. I don't think we ever. Did we ever get old?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Dale and Deb from up north of us here. Brian, I'm going to try to forward that to you. Can I do that via text, or how do you want me to do it? Is it Fortune or is it Fortune? Lisa says Dale and Deb Fortune. I thought it was Dale and Deb Sharp. But anyway, okay, Dale and Deb Fortune.
Send it to the Castle.
No, she's sharp. She's a sharp.
Castle Hives on, Castle Hives on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, just before we go, that's a great, interesting comment. I had about 30 pounds of honey from first-year package bees, even with having to requeen one of them. I mean, that's phenomenal.
Very
Think
good.
about the price of honey.
Yeah.
What you would clear per pound, probably, I don't know, in the $10 range, maybe more.
Let's just say 10 for easy math.
That's easy math. Times 30, $300 that one package produced. If you had $150, 140 or so in a package, doubled your money. Not to say we would extinguish the life of the bees just for the quick buck, but when you look at it as a financial asset, hey, that's not so bad.
Not bad.
Pretty awesome.
Not a loss, at least.
So I think Brian's working on it, but the Dale and Deb, they created this song. It's an older couple. They're awesome, and they called it Alabama Bugs in a Box. They named it after the bugs in a box, as we talk about on the stream team. So hopefully you can hear them pretty well. I did the best I could recording on my phone, but they did great with it. You got it, Brian? Did it show up?
It's coming through now.
Okay.
So Bruce, set the stage here, Bruce. You're at your local bee club.
Yeah. Yeah, I normally, my local bee club is actually here in Dothan. It's Wiregrass Beekeeping Association, but I go up also to the one in Ozark sometimes where Lisa goes. You've met Lynn and Brooke Hughes up there. They came to some of the conferences, and just some different people. My buddy Tyler Walker was speaking that night, a commercial beekeeper locally that I do a lot of stuff with. And then just a lot of other people that we probably know some of their names, and some of them watch the stream team, and Dale and Deb said that they watch it, I think, every week if they can. So that's pretty neat. They've been watching it for a long time. And anyway, they said they called this Alabama Bugs in a Box. They just, before Tyler started talking, we had dinner. Before Tyler started talking, they did a little presentation for us. And the kind of the unique thing is it's a small little, it's called The Farmer's Daughter Country Store. And they have a little restaurant in there. And this is Lynn and Brooke Hughes. They have a little business, and they also sell beekeeping products and honey and stuff in there. And they have some hives. And really a good. They have the heart of a teacher. They just really try to help people along. And there's a pretty good little group that comes in there. There were probably, Lisa, you can say in here how many, probably 20 to 25 people in this small little room, if not more. And Brian, I guess you can hit it, see if it comes through. Hopefully it will. It's kind of a fun little, about a little over 2 minutes long. You got some sound?
I think we've passed that place on the way down to Bruce's.
You have. I'm sure if it's north of Ozark. You got sound, Brian?
Brian's muted.
Brian's muted. I don't hear anything. Nope, can't hear it.
Oh man. Well, I think it's cool that they, the bugs in the box thing, really came up a few years back. Specifically, it was a phrase that we would that I would throw around, but when I came down and shot a lot of video with Bruce and a lot of the fellas down in that neck of the woods, the name of the video was "Bugs in a Box." What is it about those bugs in a box? And a lot of great, what that means to so many different people is incredible. So it was, to me, it's cool that they had heard us say that. Well, I think did you post it? Is it on your YouTube channel?
I didn't, but Lisa did. Lisa Grammy.
Lisa did. Okay, did. Cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess if anything, we'll just go over. Is it on Lisa's YouTube or is it on the Facebook or?
Okay,
I can't remember.
I think I got it.
Okay, let's try again. There it is.
You're talking about arthritis. My daddy told me one time, when you get old, son, you can't hold your pick.
You're getting old. You can't hold your pick.
From the Alabama, Georgia, all the way to Tennessee, from Mississippi and west to Georgia and Lee. There's bugs flying everywhere, just hear the buzz they got. Some girls that we love so much, bugs in a box. Those Alabama bugs in a box, honeybees we love a lot. We swear to take good care of them, no matter what they got. Turn our money into honey, we hope we get some back. But it never seems to turn out that way. The return is always slack. We get together and talk about the things we should do. About things we've done in the past and looking for something new. We work our girl our own way and listen to our friends. Just stop right there. Just so you know, this little song was written for our friend Lynn. And so next year, get some feelings, give it all you got. There's nothing like raising Alabama bugs in a box. No, there's nothing like raising Alabama bugs in a box.
That's awesome.
That's great.
There's nothing like raising Alabama bugs in a box. That's what he said.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, hats off. Well done. That was great. That was cool.
That's awesome.
Well, guys, let's go around the horn. What's coming up for you, Bruce, this next coming
My
week?
daddy told me one time.
I guess, okay. I'm just going to try and get some more treatments on them this weekend. The ones that can do it. I'm going to try the Formic Pro on them and see what happens. And temperatures are perfect. Everything is good. The only concern I have is this late in the season, but it may not be bad to shut them down a little bit and just kind of the brood. And we'll see how they look great food. They got plenty of food, plenty of bees, a little bit of brood. So we're going to see what happens. Greg, I'm nervous about it, but hopefully it'll be okay. I talked to Richard Prager today a little bit, and he said he treated last year, I guess, and they they did, or last year, within the last year or two, and they did really well. About, I guess, maybe about this time of the year. I'm not sure. But my goal is to do that. And I think next year I'm going to try, I may hit them with, through the winter, like I always do with the OAV, maybe in December. I'm not sure about that, whether I will or not. And then maybe next year I may actually try the glycerin oxalic acid pads in the hives, and just kind of some homemade stuff, the Randy Oliver stuff. I've had people like Zach's in here now. He's been trying to get me to do it now for a couple of years, and I've heard a lot of people talking about it with some good success. So I've been thinking a lot about it. I know that's a treatment you can keep in quite a bit of the time, if not all the time. It's not very harsh on the bees. So I just got to get these mites under control. But fortunately, it's not all the bees that are bad. It's just a few. So, but we're going to do hopefully a good knockdown treatment and see what we end up with. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And see, Justin says he makes his own sponges. A lot of people do. I just have not done that before. Zach says doesn't know anything about that stuff. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't know anything about it. Never heard of it. I better be careful.
Why? It's treatment free and hang loose and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, those bees over there. I tell you, you play the hula, and they just kind of roll over and they start dancing. And you kind of scratch their belly, and they're just so gentle. Those Hawaiian bees are just awesome. But the bees they look incredibly good. I mean, they look just really almost perfect right now. They look so good. But I just was kind of shocked when I found those mites. It kind of surprised me. I didn't expect to have, and it wasn't like, I'm acting like it's a big deal. It wasn't horrible, but it was more than I wanted to see. So,
right.
That's what I'm going to be doing. I do have a video I'm working on now from this past weekend when I went through and did the mite washes. And I was kind of scratching my head a little bit, kind of shocked with the results. I expected to see zeros and ones and twos, and it wasn't like that in all the colonies like I thought it would be. So, but I'm glad I checked them. If you don't check, you don't know. And so we're just trying a few things out here. But I do feel pretty confident about the bees. The bees look well. They don't look sick at all. Like I mentioned earlier in the chat, I haven't seen one with deformed wing virus or any appearances of being sick or anything like that. The bees look very healthy right now. And so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But that's what's up in store. We have family coming in for Thanksgiving. We got a lot going on. And we got a wedding coming up 1st of January. My youngest daughter's getting married. So we have a few weeks here coming up. But this next week, I'll try and get those treatments on the bees and just keep rocking and rolling. Fortunately, we don't have a lot of bee work to do right now. It's just kind of we can scale down. I've learned, traditionally, historically, I've been in the bees off and on just all the time, pretty much all year. But I've just found that, really honestly, this time of the year, if you just kind of leave them alone, they seem to survive and do pretty well. They don't need me to be in them all the time. And it's best if I'm not. I just kind of treated with OAV 6 times, and that's just treat. I didn't even check. Some of these hives I haven't broken into in like a couple of months. I haven't been in them at all except for just treating and sticking a thing in the front of them and the oxalic acid vaporizer. So that's what's going on here at Bruce's Bees, and hope to get that video out here in the next 2 or 3 days.
Nice. Brian is going to be Brian, the backstrap assassin, is going to be like, you're going to be out slaying some backstrap for the freezer. What's going on with Brian at Castle Hives the next week?
Well, I'll tell you, with the bees, it'll be fondant. I'm going to get it done probably a week early this year. With our temps dipped down how they are, I figure I'd just get it on. And then other than that, if we've got a day where I think actually 2 where it's going to be like 51. So I'll probably do an OAV just to get them cleaned up a little bit. And then I'll wait for a day in December, and then do that December cleanup as well. But that's about it for the bees. So, and other than that, I'm just, I say I've been cleaning stuff, but I did so much cleaning this year with the bee room that it's probably in the best shape that it's ever been in at this time of year. I've got my extractor with a wrap around it so dust don't get on it. My uncapping tank has, a wrap on it so it stays clean. Like, I put a lot of time into cleaning this year. So, but that's it. And then it'll be, 2 more. I'm hoping to get 2 more evenings in the woods. And then Sunday, we are going to find out they're doing the old gender reveal thing for, the parents. So we'll find out what the grandbaby is on Sunday.
Wow.
So
You have a guess?
What's your guess?
I tell them it doesn't matter to me.
No, but you have to guess.
I know. I don't know.
You don't
I
want to
mean,
say.
there's a lot of boys in my
I
family.
guess boy.
You guess?
I do.
So-
I guess the boy.
Did you even see a picture of her? She
No,
carrying
I
high?
just-
She
I'm
carrying
just-
low? You
No,
just
I'm
know.
just guessing boy.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a
Alright.
lot of boys in my family. So
You called it about their spare room. Wasn't going to be a spare room for dad. It was
Just
going to be a
saying.
nursery. She called that
I've
one.
had a couple times of experience here.
yeah. So we'll see. But that's about it. And I can't think of anything else. But and I started in the last few days just prep. There's that holiday market that I do. It's those 3 days in December.
Yes.
I think it's like the 5th, 6th, and 7th this year. I already started my prep for that. Like I got my lip balms done. Tara actually crocheted little like lip balm like sleeves. So they go around the lip
cute.
balm. They're nice. And then she's got a little keychain thing on them too. So she's actually doing things that I'm gonna,
Fancy.
I know. So I'm gonna
That's
take some of those down there. I got my vanilla honey done today.
Very nice.
I've got 1 or 2 batches of hot honey to do, but I ran out of 8-ounce bottles. So that's why I haven't done any more hot honey, is because I got to get out to Blue Sky and pick up my bottles out there. So, but and then after,
I could have shipped you some.
see, you have 8-ounce plastics?
Yep.
Do you?
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I mean, I'm just going to get 550 and then I'll just have them.
Yeah, they don't go bad.
Yeah.
It's always good to have some extra bottles around.
It is. It is.
I
That's
still
why I don't
have,
advertise I have them because I know I need them.
yeah, I still have enough 16 ounces, but 8 ounces for some odd reason I ran out. So, but it's just, I want to get past that market, and then I'll kind of look at what the honey money situation looks like.
Right.
And then judge, like, if I do want to get anything at any conferences, things like that. So, but
Yeah.
the season is all wrapped up, so I need Bruce to really get to editing these videos that he's
Come
talking
on,
about,
Bruce.
so that
Get on it.
I would like if I had even if I had the season off, there were so many things that I want to do here around the homestead with the kids, but going down and getting a little shot of Alabama beekeeping early in the year when we came down for that equipment delivery trip down to Bruce's place. That sure was a beautiful shot in the arm of spring beekeeping, so I know Bruce probably gets tired, but
It was a blast.
sure was a lot of fun. I know you're probably thinking, how in the world? They've talked about a million things under the sun. They've talked about gender reveals and pregnancy announcements and back straps. And I was thinking of one quick story before we go. I can remember I was up at a tree stand, and I get a text message. Now I'm hunting, and I know Susie's heading out for an ultrasound.
Yeah. Because we're pregnant for the 6th time.
Because right. But do you remember how
it's not important to be with me. But I am dragging 4 kids with me.
Well, see, I actually never thought about it like that.
Okay.
When you put it like that, it really doesn't change a thing because it was deer season. But
okay.
Do you remember the text thread back and forth?
Oh, I had fun with this one. I was by myself with 4 children having an ultrasound. So yes, of course I'm going to have fun because it's me. And he said, what's going on? Are you done with the ultrasound? I said, yep, we're not pregnant. With one baby.
No, you asked me, are you tethered to the tree? Because she knew I was in a tree stand. She said, are you tethered to a tree? And she says, we're not pregnant. And then she waited with one baby.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And we're having twins.
But I did it to my midwife too, and she didn't think it was funny at all because she didn't
I mean,
get
the way
text.
that came across there, it was not ideal. I would say
but
that.
I did it on purpose because I thought, you guys let me go to an ultrasound. And my midwife thought I was twinning, which I didn't know what that meant at that point. And she totally guessed it right because I looked 4 months pregnant and I was literally 9 weeks pregnant.
Can I find that photo?
I don't even know. That's probably not a good idea.
Probably not a good idea.
But
for you, but for me, I would love to see
drag
it again.
4 children by myself to an ultrasound in which they told me, here's baby A and there's baby B. And all I can hear is little Jacob in my ear saying, Mommy, what's baby A and what's baby B mean? Mommy, what's baby A? And I just kept hearing A, B, baby A, baby B. And I just said, buddy, you just have to give me a second. Just be quiet, please. And I didn't know whether I was going to vomit or roll off the table and wet my pants because what choice do I have but to pull it all together and try to understand what she just told me was happening here. Because I already have 5 children. There's no way I've had 5 single deliveries. I can't be pregnant with twins. There's just no way. I'm 32 years old. I'm old. I can't have twins. But yeah, but yet I did.
I say we, like I wasn't a part of that part of the. Anyways, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It seems to me, or we say, oh, we are having, or I'm like, I'm not part of the child labor part, but here we are. This is kind of a testament. This is such a beautiful photo. It's kind of been on my heart to write a book on the first 10 years of this journey, and it has been absolutely incredible. But here in this photo is Susie a month before delivering. And what are we out there doing? We are planting an orchard, hundreds and hundreds of apple trees, planting trees for the future, and for thinking as we're planting these.
That was about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
6 weeks before I delivered.
Antonovka apples, old standard Russian apple trees, that will bear fruit for our grandkids. We're out there thinking about grandkids and kids and here she is, 6 weeks away from the twins there. So to me, that's just what a cool. That would be an important photo to be in something like that. But you might ask me, how many kids do we have?
How many kids do we have?
Or no, how many kids never mind. There was a joke in there. There's the kids and the whole 6, 7,
Stupid. That's
6, 7 thing. That's banned, I guess.
It's dumb.
I don't even understand that.
And 6 and 7.
It's nothing. It's literally
6
nothingness.
7 kids.
6, 7, 41.
There's all kinds of weird stuff.
I'm just glad they're saying numbers and not dumb words like.
That's true.
I mean, at least they're saying numbers, I guess. And then all the kids at church have this, like, how many times does 6 and 7 correspond in the Bible? And so there's all these Bible verses that have a 6 and a 7. And so I think that's awesome. So interweave that in there, but still.
Yeah.
I did want to do one thing real fun, real quick. Okay. And we'll go around the horn because you never answer any questions. You just ask them. Say just with one word. What is one thing you're thankful for? Because we are coming into the week of Thanksgiving. One thing. Okay, Greg, we'll start with you.
I am thankful for my family.
Oh, that's okay. So family. One word, buddy.
One word.
There's rules.
Family. Oh,
okay. Yep. Okay, Bruce.
Turn on my mic. I would say the Savior.
Very good. Brian?
Can I have 2 words?
Back straps.
Okay, you can have 2 words.
Health and family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say family too. That's way up there as well.
Yeah.
I think we all, we are of the mindset where it's God, family, and then our bees. And there it seems as though there are different times while we all want to always have God number one, there are certain things that happen in life that draw you very close to having God as your number one, especially when it's revolving around family and health. I know Brian's been through a lot. Bruce has had seen a lot of things in his time here on Earth too, and I think we can all agree. Family is an incredible blessing.
Numero uno.
I'm gonna ask you, what's one thing you're thankful for, other than me? That don't embarrass me in front of anybody, okay?
I'm thankful. Well, it's kind of the same vein that I'll say Jesus. I'm thankful for Jesus.
I'm glad you said that.
But we're headed into that season.
I was going to say lean cuisine because it's my turn for dinner tonight, and it's getting late, so it might be a microwave dinner.
I think we've still got some sourdough to chew on. So
Sue's been making a lot of sourdough, which is great. However, you can't overdo it with sourdough. For some reason, I'm not sure what's going on, but I don't know if you're turning the dryer on like too hot, or the water's too hot or something, or the dryer's too. But the pants are shrinking for some reason. I'm not sure.
I think you need to go to the gym.
It's doing something to my
your
belt
membership
too.
hasn't been checked for a while. You need to scan your card.
Yeah. But
Nate.
Nate's great. They better get to cooking. All right, guys. Well, next week, I guess. Stay tuned. It's going to be Thanksgiving Eve. I don't know what that's.
Are you guys going to go on?
Are we?
Thanksgiving Eve?
Whose channel is going to be on next week? Brian. All right. Brian, are we doing a Thanksgiving chat, or what are you thinking?
Let her rip.
Let her rip, Tater Chip. That's what Brian said. Awesome. Well, hey, I want to thank everybody. There's so many great folks in here. I wish we could name you guys all, but just know that we see you. We appreciate you being here. 4 years, the Stream Team Beekeeping Chat. Hey, if you're going to be up or you can make it up to the Madison, Wisconsin area this February 6th and 7th, the fastest growing bee conference in the country, the Midwest HoneyBee Expo. A lot of great speakers. The Stream Team, we'll all be there as a trio, hosting a live show. That's going to be awesome. I'm going to be also giving a panel discussion. There's going to be a lot of great minds, a lot of great perspectives, and a lot of great learning from each other. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be awesome. For more, you can check the description here in this video. We'll drop a link in there too. A lot of great and awesome things on the horizon. I'm really excited. Probably the conference that I am most excited about on the horizon is the Midwest HoneyBee Expo, because it's such a great group of folks, and it's always great when the Stream Team can be a part of that. And when a conference invites us to be a part of that, it's a beautiful thing.
You guys are the power trio there.
You got the whole crew.
Yeah,
it's great.
Three Musketeers.
The Three Musketeers. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. So we'll see you guys next Wednesday night for the Thanksgiving Stream Team Chat. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great.
Wear your turkey hats.
Turkey hats.
I'll make you one.
Oh boy. Until next time, I want to remind you to be the lighthouse and be the change that you want to see in this world. Speaking of bugs in the box, how about this for an Tim, what is it about these bugs in a box?
There's no way to shrink it down. There's no words that can describe it. They bring a healing. You either know or you have to know. The smell of a healthy hive, once you smell it, you'll never forget it. But just the ability to get up, take your health in your own hands. See, that's what we have to do. The desire to work these bees and the healing you get from it. It's something about a box full of bugs, you know what I'm saying? It's got a healing to it.
Mike, what is it about those bugs in a box?
Wow, those bugs in a box. There's something about them. It's an insect that can do so much, so many functions it has, so many things it has within itself, and we get to manipulate it. God allowed us to manipulate His creation and do the things we can do. We can make products from it, and it's just exciting to sit there and be able to propagate them and manipulate them and watch them do their thing and explode on you and watch the direct results of what you do. To me, there's nothing like it. It's like almost an addiction when you get to do this and you have this ability given to you to do this. So to me, that's what they are. They're just amazing, amazing insects.
Randy, what is it about those bugs in a box?
There's just something magical about those bugs in a box. I don't know a whole lot of beekeepers that don't have a watching chair or some way to sit out and just watch their bees. You just watch them work. It's just something that it's like watching a campfire. It's like sitting around at midnight watching a campfire. You're out there by yourself and it's quiet. But I do the same thing with my bees. They don't know all there is to know. I'll never know all there is to know, but there's so much to learn. It's all so interesting, and it brings together a community, in the way we're doing it with YouTube and with other things. It brings together a community of like-minded people that are, we're all a little off, kind of. It's relaxing, it's fun, and I'll be doing it from now on, just like you, I'm sure.
Bruce, what is it about those bugs in a box?
Man, I don't know. It's addictive from the day I first opened one up. It's therapeutic to me. It's always an adventure and I just never know what to expect, and it's just very miraculous to me how they do what they do, and I don't know what it is. It's just something. There's an it about it that is just addicting that I just love, and I guess it's a way to interact fully with nature, and it's like opening a gift. Every time you open one, you never know what you're going to expect. It's a surprise, and so many things to learn, so many things to do, and so many things you can do with it, and I just love it. If you ever doubt that there's a God, just open a beehive and look at the bees, because there's just no way that just happened randomly. There's definitely something divine about that, and I just love it.
What is it about these bugs in a box that keeps us coming back, that keeps us working them in the rain, traveling across the country?
In the heat.
And the heat, the snow, the rain.
Snow?
The snow. That's a long story, right, Tim? Oh. There is just something about the bees, and I think the bees are just the conduit to people. Bees are a conduit to a connection that's way greater than ourselves. We can't fully understand what it is, but we're drawn to it. As we've heard folks talk about, there's a healing with the bees, mental, physical, spiritual. It ties people together, it makes those connections, it brings us all together, it fulfills a part of us, that the result of engaging with the bees, the result of that action, the consequence of that action is joy and happiness. What is it exactly about those bees? I don't think I'll ever know, but I think I'll spend all my days trying to find out.